Welcome everyone to part two of Sade Sati. I'm quite sure some of you would have definitely loved the part one. Anand Astrology, welcome to Saptarshi.
Thank you. Thank you. It's great to be back again.
So,
Thank you so much.
part one, that is set one, you
Yeah.
showed us, and in part two, we have two more sets or different
Yeah.
categories of.
Different Rashis, and one set is of Sadasati, and the last set is of Daya. That is eighth from Moon, Saturn. Daya is also when Moon, Saturn is fourth from the Moon,
Mhm.
but I'm not showing that because there is no point in going over and over again.
Okay.
So we have one set of eighth from Moon.
Okay.
Okay. So now uh, this is Scorpio Moon sign.
Okay.
So Sadasati is currently running. Okay.
Yeah.
And it started when it ended on Leo, which was our last set. So I guess it started in 2011 sometime, November 2011, November or September. Now, if you see this chart, first of all, which I would like to tell you is that Saturn is the Lagnesh. It is a well-placed planet. It's a strong planet in the chart. Okay, so that theory that if Saturn is a strong planet in the chart, or Saturn is well placed, then Sadasati is good will fail on this chart because Sadasati has been a torrid time, a horrible time for this individual. Let's see how many points in Ashtak Varga the Saturn has. It sits with 4 points, which is good. In Sadasati, it had 4, 3, and 4, which is again good. Okay. And in Sarvashtak Varga, it has 24, 23, and 30.
No, Sarvashtak work, Saturn has 30.
Yeah, I mean, for Sadasati, in Libra,
24,
Scorpio,
23, and 30, which is not good.
which is not good, true. But if you see the Bhinnashtak Varga of Saturn, it is not that bad. Right, it is 434, right?
Except this one.
How much is that?
2. The one where
2.
Moon is placed.
Okay. Anyways, uh, okay, so in this Sadasati, even the Dasha is good, okay? The Dasha is of Venus, the Mahadasha. It's of Venus running from 2003. Okay. Now, he had multiple issues. He started to drink a lot. He was always drinking even before the Sadasati, but that increased sometime when the Saturn was in Libra. And so because of that drinking habits, he wasn't really fulfilling any of his duties with respect to his relationship, with respect to his job, with respect to his health. And so in the first year of Sarasati, I mean when Saturn was in Libra, at that time he moved to Pune to go for an MBA. Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. As I said, in the first year, individuals get a chance to go to a different city, it's a time of separation and travel, and it also gives you umpteen number of chances to digress from the path, right? So he went to Pune to do an MBA, and which was away from his relationship, like his girlfriend was in a different city, and there in Pune he did all sorts of things. I mean, whatever you can think of. He wasn't studying, he was drinking every day, and he wasn't committed to anything. So that continued. He somehow completed his MBA, never got placed from the college. He had to look for his job elsewhere, and got one in Mumbai. So in the second Daya, when Saturn was above his moon, Sun, and Mercury, when it was in Scorpio, that was the time when he was drinking, I mean, way too much. So first of all, he got engaged to his girlfriend, and after the engagement, just before the marriage, a few days before the marriage, she decided not to marry him.
Oh my God.
Okay, so he lost that relationship. And Consequently, he lost his job. But the drinking continued badly. So then he had a lot of debts because credit cards and all were full and he wasn't earning anything. Then he had to go back to his hometown. Currently, his health is also suffering. There is no job, no money, no relationship, absolutely nothing. And it's been, I haven't seen a worse Sadasati than this one, to be very honest with you. I mean, the ones which we have showed last time, though in those charts there was one or two events which were very very bad, which derailed the life. But this, for this person, it has been a continued downslide, sort of, and he has lost out on everything. Now, Saturn has moved to Sagi. Currently, he is again drinking, but it has decreased somewhat because he is back with his family in his hometown, and but still there are no signs of improvement. He doesn't have a job. He doesn't have anything. Nothing. So it's been a bad phase. But Saturn is a good planet in the chart, and the dasha is good, and Saturn is strongly placed. So this is one case. Let's move on to the second chart of set two.
Can I make an observation here?
Yeah, sure.
This man has moon debilitated. That is Saturn passing over a strong moon versus a Saturn passing over a weak moon are two different cases. And Saturn definitely affects the mind.
It does. So he had a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
Lot of pressure of everything. That is what Sadasati does, right? But debilitation of moon is a factor which will be true in all the next two cases, of this set, because everybody will be of Scorpio moon. And as we saw in the last video,
right,
when we were looking at Leo moon sign people, the person who had the weakest moon had the best Sadasati.
Yeah. Apart from that, I was wondering if Mercury, being the fifth lord of emotions and love life and eighth lord of depression, coupled with an almost Amavasya birth.
Yeah, those problems are there. But you look at one more thing: Mercury and Sun, seventh and fifth lord together. He should have gotten a love marriage.
No, his Sun will be more separative because it is the dispositor of Ketu.
Yeah, that's true.
Separative, being the dispositor of Ketu, will give more separations, more breaks, and he will behave headlessly. The Sun will behave headlessly.
Yeah, that's true.
So
that's true.
That is the problem. Ketu sitting in its enemy.
You know what? When his parents and all, they believe in astrology a lot. His father especially. Now you can say that because Sun is with the eighth lord, so you can say that. So when I met them once when the Sadasati was starting, and even at that time I was drinking a lot, and he was scheduled to go to Pune to study. At that time, I told them in their house, it was Diwali, I still remember. I told them that if you do not stop drinking and stop focusing on your duties, you will lose out on everything, your job, your relationship, everything. And he laughed off the matter. Because I knew it back then, because I saw it coming. And that has happened, and I'm really sad that this has happened, because he's a dear friend of mine, and I hope that he recovers and he becomes a better person.
Yeah.
I mean, when he's not under the influence of alcohol, he's a wonderful person to meet. Very humorous. As I said, Mars in second house. He has the best sense of humor I have met. Brilliant guy. Very good cricketer. He used to play fantastic cricket. Brilliant all-rounder. But then alcohol has spoiled it to some extent. He's a postgraduate. He's an MBA. All of those things are there, but it's the last 5 years which has really turned his life topsy-turvy.
Neptune is so badly placed in his life.
Hmm.
It's like the karaka of addictions.
But I tell you, once Sadesati ends, na,
Hmm.
he will be back on his feet. I'm telling you that.
My problem is I was looking at the degree of moon,
Yeah, 23. Yeah.
and I was wondering even after Saturn crosses Saggy,
Saggy. Yeah.
it will still continue for the next 8 degrees. This Sadesati will continue till the next
Yeah,
8.
perhaps. Look, first of all, he's born in Sadesati.
Hmm.
He was born, so he was always emotionally weak.
Yeah.
That is always the problem. And then Moon and Mercury combination is the worst combination to have for the emotional happiness, at least.
I just remembered PM Padia. You
Mm.
have you heard of PM Padia?
No, no, I haven't.
We published a few articles of his in our magazine around nine
Hmm.
years back or something.
Hmm.
PM Padia is the guru of James Braha, the man who
Oh.
introduced Vedic astrology in the
Hmm.
Western world.
Yeah, yeah, I've heard about James Brown.
Yeah. Padia Saab always takes natal Sadesati, natal Kantak Shani, natal Ashtang Shani.
Mm-hmm.
We usually take Sadesati in transit,
Mm-hmm.
but Padia Saab always takes that. I think he wrote an article on it also in our.
So then that will be true throughout his life now.
Yeah, because it makes it weak.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's emotionally weak.
Yeah.
And that is at look, when do you look for alcohol? When you think that you are not, you have that void in your body. When you feel weak and when you get that thing in your body, then you say, okay, now it's fine. Now I'm feeling better. This is what happens, right? That is why people consume any kind of drug or alcohol. कि उसके पहले ठीक नहीं लगता, जब वो पी लेते हैं तो सब ठीक लगता है. Then that ठीक लगना, that increases because what you felt after the first drink, first time in your life, that hit you get after 10 drinks, after 10 years, after 20, after that, so that continues to increase. So weak moon is one of the factors why people get addicted to anything. It's a weak moon, it's amavasya, it's it's with Mercury. Jupiter's aspect is the only positive thing about it.
Hmm.
Jupiter's aspect and the fact that it has Venus on one side. So these are two positive factors as well. But anyways, Amavasya makes the moon very weak.
Hmm. Okay. Do you want me to take the second horoscope?
Yeah, let's take the next one because how long can we discuss this? Okay, so we have seen this chart, the chart of a journalist in the first video,
Hmm.
the guy whom I told to pursue media studies or law, and he said that I was going to study law, but he couldn't get through. Now see, even he has a debilitated moon with Sun, with Mercury, again Amavasya ka birth. Okay,
Hmm.
and Jupiter is not opposite to Moon, but it is with Moon in this chart. And here the points are 20, 28, and 21. So this is in a way lesser points as compared to that chart, right? And even let's see the Bhinashtak Varg of Saturn here. 3, 2, and 3. So similar, right? Similar. Even he had 2 in Scorpio when Moon was setting. Now, and again the Dasha is of Venus. Okay. So the same Dasha, same Rashi, similar planetary placements. Apart from the fact that it is in the 6th house and he was in the 10th house,
Hmm.
Saturn is again well placed in this chart. In that chart, he was even better placed because Saturn was a Lagnesh there. It is not the Lagnesh here, but still. Now, in the first Dahya, when Saturn was in Libra, he completed his this thing graduation. Similarly, that person completed his post graduation. Okay. Then he got a job. They both got a job. In the second transit, he had to leave the job because of his personal issues and drinking issues. This guy quit the job. He wanted to quit the job. He started his own business, so he did that. He started his own media website, as I told you, right? So even he had quit the job. He had started his own website on his own, willingly, happily. Then he has made a lot of money. I mean, that website is a very, very popular website now in its native town, and he's doing very well in his business. Absolutely no issues of any kind as far as money is concerned, as far as health is concerned, or as far as job is concerned. Yes, they both had to quit the job, but due to different reasons, as I said, Sadasati will give you pressure on the mind. So he had to quit the job because he wasn't good enough and he wasn't, dedicated. He This person quit the job happily and started his own business. Starting his own business at a very young age was very, very tough. So he had a lot of pressure to, and a lot of family members also. I spoke to him, before the video. A lot of family members were saying that don't do this. You have a very good job in a good newspaper. Why you're doing that? But he quit it. So pressure again, responsibility again. But everything became happy rosy because he was fulfilling his duties, and he completed his graduation and got a placement from the college. That person was in an MBA college and still never got placed,
Oh,
right? So because MBA colleges, you know, there are all the more chances to get placed there. At his college, the chances are bleak, but still he got through. He got scholarship throughout.
wow.
This person, the journalist, you cannot find much of a difference in their moon placement. And that's why I've chosen this chart, because even he is born in the Amavasya, right? So even that factor can be ruled out. Now, and both of them are running Venus dashas. So even that is ruled out. So yeah, it's been a. I mean, he also, this person's journalist is also not going through a very happy phase. I mean, he's going through a stressful phase for his business, but that's happy stress. That's what you want, right? The other person is going through a torrid time. Okay. So then again, I mean, it is all in the karmas. Sarasati is all about your karmas. It will give you pressure. If your karmas are good, it will give you happy pressure. Otherwise, it will give you, a horrible time. That is what it is. I mean, can you find any difference in these two charts?
Yeah, except I would say here, the Mercury is not a bad Mercury, whereas over there it was the eighth lord of depression Mercury.
But it was also the fifth lord. I mean, it is not a bad Mercury in Kumbh Lagan,
Yeah,
anyways.
but the Mool Trikon sign would be of the eighth house, so it will give more
That's true.
dominant effect of the eighth house of
I
depression.
mean, that's true, but you cannot say that in Kumbh Lagan Mercury is a bad planet. You cannot classify it as a bad planet in Kumbh Lagan. Na? It's a good planet in Kumbh Lagan, and all the more somebody advised that person to wear a panna. I asked him to remove the panna immediately.
Problem with
and the Mercury Dasha was very good for him. It was in his childhood. देखो थोड़ा बहुत तो differences will always be there. If you want to find something out, you can always find it out. But mota there is nothing which is very alarming. Even if he gets depression, that's okay. But I mean, does it mean that he will lose the job and he will lose his relationship? So there are multiple issues in that chart and not so many in this chart. And see, Venus is a better planet in that chart if you look at it.
Yeah.
It's the Yoga Karaka. The Mahadasha Lord is a Yoga Karaka there. Here it is the fifth Lord. And in both the charts, Venus sits in its own sign in Libra. Right? There it was in the 9th house, here it is in the 5th house. See, I'll give you one pointer at the end of the video that why Saraswati is going better for some people. I want the viewers to hold on and listen to the whole video, and then I'll give you that one. Rahu in the Lagna, yeah, I mean, but look, that all of that we'll come to know once the Saraswati ends. If he's still depressed, and if he still remains to be alcoholic for a very long period of time, then we can say that okay, Rahu is responsible or Mercury is responsible. If this thing goes away, and he was a very happy person, he's a fantastic cricketer. I'm telling you, he's a fantastic cricketer. And this person hardly plays anything. He's more into business and studies and all of those things. Let's see the third one. Let's see the third example. Which chart is this?
This is the third one.
This is the third one.
Have
No,
I
no, no.
used?
It's 12:06. The time is 12:06.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
One
Let me
second.
check what I have
Let
sent
me
you.
just double check.
It's 12:06. I've sent 12:06 only.
Viewers, just hold on.
मीन लगन की कुंडली होगी.
अच्छा. This is set 2, right?
Yeah. Set to chart C.
Yeah, it's 12:06. Sorry, my mistake.
Mm-hmm.
My mistake. Okay, so this changes. 06. Murada.
Yeah. So, okay. So again, Scorpio moon. This time in the 9th house. It's not in Amavasya. Okay. And when the Sadasati started, he was studying, doing his graduation, failed. Wasn't really focused in the studies now. So he had to fail, repeat 1 year, and then redo it. Then completed it somehow. He is not completely an alcoholic or anything, but he drinks. He likes to have a good time, but that's not that bad if you look at it. So after failing, because he wasn't really focused on the studies, then he studied. I mean, gave it again the examinations for 1 more year, and it was BBA. Hardly anybody fails in BBA, but he failed in BBA. Then he got a job as an insurance agent. Okay, and he wasn't really focused, so I think he had to quit the job again. So it was all in the second, and yeah, when Saturn was in Scorpio. Lot of pressure, first job, and he had to go to rural areas in and around his hometown, small towns and kasbahs, not town, even villages, and sell insurance. So he was really fighting a hard battle, and continued the job for some time, then had to quit the job. No real money, even the family is not very well off. And then currently when Saturn moved to Sagittarius, he, after quitting the job, he took that license of an insurance agent. What do you call it? I don't know the name. FC they call it, right? Financial consultant. And now he's like freelancing as an insurance agent, having a tough time. So this Sadasati is not very bad. It is not very good. Okay, it's an average sort of a time. He is not that qualified that he cannot get a very good job any which ways. But whatever he does, he finds a hard time in that. He's not a very focused individual, and that is the reason which I can think of. But he has a lot of pressure of sustaining himself, because his family is not able to give him pocket money. So he does insurance here and there and gets money whatever he can. But it's an average Saraswati. Look what happens in a lot of people in our country. Saraswati, they would not even know when it came and when it passed, because they are not really committed to their duties. Neither they are hustling away. Neither they are spoiling their life. So they are committed to some extent, like every Aam Aadmi is. They could go to the office, do their job, and come back home. Correct. They're not passionate about it, but they're not against it as well. So Sadasati just passes off, and whichever aspect of life you are not committed to, that aspect is affected. So he wasn't studying at all. He had to fail. So he failed, but he was the only person who failed in the class, because in BBA nobody fails. But he failed because he wasn't at all studying, right? And that is bound to happen. If you don't study, you cannot pass, right? So luck did not favor him at that point in time. That is what I'm trying to say. But post that, he got a job. He couldn't really cope up with it. He had to quit the job, and currently he's jobless. He just does insurance, whatever he can, freelances as insurance agent. And it's been a tough time. It's been a tough time, not a very tough time. I've taken up this chart because in more cases than not, Sadhasati is not going to make your life hell. It is not going to brighten up your life as well. It will be an average sort of a period, but with pressure on the mind. Pressure on the mind is guaranteed in Sadhasati.
Hmm.
So if you work hard, like Mr. Modi or Mahendra Singh Dhoni, they will get the captainship of India, or prime ministership of India. That will be pressure. If you don't work hard, you will lose the job. Pressure will be off to sustain yourself, or to look for a new job, right? Either ways. So if you are in a relationship, you have to be committed. Otherwise, you will lose that person. As simple as that. And in the first transit, it is always separation and travel, expenses to some extent. And if there are old people in the family, then they can die. In the whole Saraswati, they can die, because that is again pressure and longing, right? If I mean, that has nothing to do with this person, but their age must have come, and it coincides with the Saraswati usually. I read somewhere that in the first Saraswati, the grandfather passes away. In the second, the father passes away. In the third, you pass away. I mean, it was a funny book. So I won't say that it is completely true. But yeah, deaths in the family, because that adds pressure. If the father passes away, then you become the head of the family. Any which ways, that is more responsibility, right? So it is going to give you responsibility and pressure. That is guaranteed. But in what way, that is dependent on the karmas which you have done in the past, in this life. And I see it as the only pocket of free will when it exercises, when you can actually work hard and get the results, irrespective of the dashas and the Raj Yogas in the chart.
Okay.
So these three cases are there of Scorpio. One had a very bad time, one had a very good time. I mean, for that person, he's 94 born. He's around 22, 23 when the Saraswati was running. He started his own business, and it's a successful business, right? He was studying on scholarship. He wasn't paying the fee every day, because he used to come first in the class. So and it was in Saraswati. Then the other guy had a very bad time. This guy had an average time, nothing to shout about. But still, all three of them had pressures. All three of them lost their job. One quit the job willingly. The other couldn't cope up with it, and the first one, wasn't really focused on it, and he had to. I mean, he was thrown out of the job. So it depends on your karmas, how you look at it. And today, one is enjoying his life and doing a very successful business. This person, the insurance agent guy, is selling insurances and having an average life. The first one is jobless and is drinking. And everybody has the same moon, right? So let's move on to the last part now. It's the Dhaya. It's the now, for all the listeners, when I say Dhaya individually, it means when Saturn is in the fourth or the eighth from the moon. Okay, that is when Dhaya is there. Now, Sadhasati comprises of three Dhayas. When Saturn is in the 12th, that is the first Dhaya. Dhaya means 2.5 years. That's it. When Saturn goes over the moon, that is the second Dhaya. And when it's the second house, it's the third Dhaya. So that is, Sadhasati is of three Dhayas collectively. But when we say Dhaya individually, it means that Saturn is in the fourth or the eighth from the moon. The fourth one is known as Kantak Shani, and the eighth one is known as Ashtam Shani. Right? But we can just say fourth Saturn and eighth Saturn. That will suffice. Okay, so now, as I told you about the trends which I have noticed in Sadhasati, that what happens in the first Dhaya and second and third. For Ashtam Shani, there are a couple of trends which I have seen. First of all, it gives you a lot of traveling, and abrupt traveling. All of a sudden, you might have to travel somewhere. It makes the life a bit hectic. Certain health issues which you have been neglecting in the past will cope up. Okay, and again, and if there are old people in the family, then chances of them passing out, are there, passing off are there. Apart from that, it can be a good period. As I said in one of the videos, we have shown the chart of an actor who got his first film in the Dhaya. So again, if you have been working hard in the past, and that Dhaya is again a window for free will to be exercised, you can get successful all of a sudden, and the success will stay. If not, then you might lose the job, and whatever, as the case in Sadhasati, whatever aspects of life you have been neglecting and you have not been committed to, those aspects of life will suffer, and the rest will remain constant or will flourish. Depends on your uh, this thing hard work. So basically, when Saturn moved to the 8th house, so whatever this person has done after the ending of Kantakshani, when Saturn moved to the 5th, so 5th, 6th, and 7th Saturn, whatever he has done in these phases, that is going to count the most. So his karmas of this time period will count the most.
That means karma is done when Saturn was here.
When the last Daya ended, yeah, and this Daya started, basically. So what lessons? I mean, in the last Daya must have taught you something, right? If you have learned those lessons, then it's good. If you haven't, then you will suffer again. Okay. Similarly, when Sadasati ends, you have a period of Saturn in the 3rd house. So if you have learned the lessons taught to you in the Sadasati, then the 4th Daya will be good. 4th Saturn will be good. Otherwise, it can be again a very bad. It's like a teacher who's a strict teacher in the classroom. At times, what happens is that he finishes his lecture, goes out, and then comes back again to take a look at who are the mischievous people, right? And then they get caned. So it's like that. The teacher is coming back on a round. So in the 4th Saturn, the 8th Saturn. So now this person, engineer again, has a good job, everything, but he neglects his health badly. Badly. I mean, he consumes. I mean, he's into 2-3 kinds of, what do you call, not alcohol, but alcohol is there, but apart from that, cigarettes and some other sort of addictions are there. So, and what happens is that you get away with a lot of things in life. You might feel that, okay, I will not wear a helmet, I will get away, the policeman will not catch me. But in Dhaiya and Saraswati, they will definitely catch you. You can say, I always drink and drive, nothing happens, but in Dhaiya you will meet with an accident. So whenever somebody calls me and his Dhaiya is running or their son's Dhaiya is running, I always tell them that first of all, just ask him not to drink and drive. That is the most important thing, because if you have been getting away with it, this is the time when you will be caught, right? So this person used to drink and drive and stuff. So when Saturn moved to Sagittarius in January this year, I think it moved to Sagittarius, right? So within the first couple of months, he met with an accident and broke his left hand. Okay. And there was a rod in the left hand. Then he recovered, never listened, right? In June, Saturn moved back to Scorpio, I guess. And then in October, it came back to Sagi, right? In October, by the time October came, he had recovered completely. So in October, he started to doing the same thing again. He met with an accident again, and this time his right hand broke. So he has broken 2 arms in the first 1 year of the Dhaiya. Now, because he did not learn the lesson. Now, uske baad he has stopped, drinking and driving and everything. Now he's living a fine life. Apart from that, only his health has suffered. His job has not suffered. Okay. And breaking of bones, you can associate it with Saturn's transits directly. So, and he was born in a Dhaiya. Again, if you see, his Saturn is in the 8th house from the moon, right? He was born in the 8th Saturn. So he has broken both the arms once, and both the arms are now, I mean, he can't get them straight. They are a bit twisted because they have rods and plates in them. And it was a big accident. His right arm has been completely, it was powdered almost, the bone.
My God.
Yeah, the second one was a bigger accident. The first one was still okay. The second one was a bigger one. But after that, it was in October, so it's been around 7-8 months. He's fine now because he has learned the lesson. Once you learn the lesson, then things, become better. As I said, I was speaking to Mr. Sunil Pandey once, and he said that people say कि Saturn हड्डी तोड़ता है, पैर तोड़ता है, सर तोड़ता है. मैं कहता हूँ Saturn केवल अहंकार तोड़ता है. It breaks the ego.
Seriously.
So if you don't listen to anybody and you are in your own la la land and you're doing the wrong thing again and again, then Saturn will teach you a lesson in any respect of your life. So this is what happened to and his Saturn is a good Saturn. If you look at from the Lagna, it's a Yoga Karaka. for this Lagan. Okay,
Correct.
and so yeah, and let's see the next one. Next one in the Dahiya again.
Yeah.
Again, Taurus moon. Saturn is not a great planet here. It's the seventh and the sixth lord. In Leo ascendant, it's the worst planet possible, right? Now, this person in the Dahiya has got in his business. He's got a big project. I mean, his last 1 year has been brilliant as far as money is concerned, and certain things which he was waiting for, certain projects which he was waiting for the past 5-6 years, those things have happened now. As I said, whatever he was working hard on, that will get converted in the Dahiya. So he has really, broken through in this transit, and I had told him that in the Dahiya things will become better. Saturn is in the 8th house from the moon, right?
Saturn moved over Sagittarius.
Yeah.
He's made it.
Yeah, he's made it in the 8th from the moon. Okay, and making a good amount of money as well. But as I said, 8th Saturn does give a few health concerns. So I mean, that guy broke his arms, right? That is a big thing. He had a bit of food poisoning. I mean, that's okay. Those things happen. They pass off. वो तो थोड़ा बहुत चलता रहता है. So it was just a food poisoning which has happened in the last 1 year. Apart from that, his business is going strong. He's doing a couple of things at the same time, and both are flourishing, making good money, decent money. I mean, according to his own standards, not. So it's been a good year for him. And even the Sadasati was very good for him. When the Sadasati came, it was a very good. The 4th Saturn was very good again. So there are certain things, certain people who are dutiful, who are committed, will always have good Sadasatis and Dahiyas. If you see it has 0 points, yeah, that is the most important factor. Saturn has 0 points in Ashtak Varga in the sign of Sagittarius. And he is having a wonderful time. And the other guy has more than 0, I'm sure, and he is having a torrid time. I mean, after seeing these cases, my faith from Ashtak Varga has sort of dissolved, because at least for the transits we cannot say that, and for Saturn's transits we cannot say anything. So yeah, this is it. Let's see the third chart. Yeah, and both of these Dahiya people are traveling a lot. As I said, the first person had to travel to, I mean, he broke his arm, so he went back home. He lives in Pune twice. Okay, and he had to travel for work as well to Chennai. Both of them are traveling. Now this is the third chart, and again Taurus moon currently under Dahiya. If you see, he is again born in the Dahiya. Saturn is in the
8th from moon.
In the 8th from moon. Okay. Now he is having a somewhat average time again. He was working. Not very interesting for the career thing as well. Look, his 10th lord is in the 8th house. Okay, sits with Jupiter, which is the 6th lord. Now I can go on and on, but the fact is that Jupiter and the 10th conjunction usually shows management, as one of the possible careers. 8th house and the 6th house are the houses which show death and destruction. Basically, he has done a course in disaster management, a very unique field, a rare field. Very few people do that. And after the earthquake in Nepal, he was there in Nepal trying to revitalize the place. Okay, his Dahiya started in January. By that time, automatically the place in Nepal was rehabilitated, so he had to quit the job. The project ended, so he had to come back to India, and he was jobless for about 3-4 months. Then he got a job post October. He had to travel again. Now he's in Bombay. Okay, so, and again in this job he's traveling a lot to different places again and again. He also had a breakup, sort of a bad breakup that happened. but I mean, he is not that affected. He has a stable mind, so he is able to cope up with things. So it's been an average sort of a time. Nothing special, nothing really bad has happened. I mean, the breakup is a bad thing for him, but he's not as affected as the other guy was affected. And he had to quit his job, and the project ended. He was jobless for about 5 6 months, and then he got a new job. It is paying him less amount of money as compared to the last one, but he's coping up with it. No health concerns so far. Lot of travel, and a job which requires him to travel a lot. Move to a new place, new city, new country in India, in Bombay. And moving to Bombay is difficult for people, so it gives you pressure.
Correct.
So he lives and guess what? He lives in Churchgate, so in the town. So that is even a lot of money is being spent on the rent and everything. So he's under pressure. He's in a new job, but I mean, it hasn't affected him that badly. That's why I said, look, usually it will not affect you very very badly if you are committed to the job, and I mean committed in the right amount, not over committed, not very passionate, so nothing bad will happen. The second child which you have taken, that person was looking for a thing to happen from the past 6 7 years. He was working hard on that one project, so that got materialized in the year, right? The first person was really spoiling his health. He was consuming all sorts of things. So Saturn must have said that, okay, you want to spoil your health, I will show you how to do it. So both the arms were broken. So that's why I've taken 3 cases, one which has affected really badly, the other which has affected really well. Now you look at it, this person is Tula Lagan. Saturn is a Yog Karak. Okay? He lost the job, he had a breakup. The first chart was of Taurus ascendant. Saturn again the Yog Karak. Right? That person is suffering from health issues. And the second chart is of Leo ascendant. You would say that the Leo ascendant guy should have the worst.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
But he is having the best time. See? So
basically,
natal Saturn has no effect. It's your karmas. Saturn here is your karmas. That's it. And natal Saturn will give the effect in the dasha, Mahadasha of Saturn. So the Mahadasha of Leo guy will not be that great as compared to the other two. Right? So my whole point, doing this video is for the viewers to understand that there are positives. It's a positive video, right? Don't take it in a negative light. What I'm trying to say is that if you work hard, if you're passionate about anything in life, this is the window of free will. This is something which will supersede the dasha, supersede the Raj Yogas. Many people, not everybody has good Raj Yogas in the chart. Not everybody is running good dasha, but still you want something badly, right? So if you work for it, with 100% commitment and dedication, then these pockets of free will come. That's what I like to call it, right? The Dhaiya and Sadasati. And then that thing will happen. If you don't, then you will have a bad time. Now, in Kali Yoga, 90% of people are not that committed. That's why this image of a bad period, of Sadasati has been created, because everybody is not committed. They are not doing the right thing. So they will have a bad time, right? And it affects the emotional piece, that is for sure. It will do that. If you are committed, if you're really really hardworking, if you get that thing, if like that actor guy, he got this first break, so it has to add pressure on his mind. If Pradhan Mantri Modi is sitting on the chair, then he is under pressure, scrutiny 24/7, right? Similarly, when Dhoni at a very young age in 27, he's Kanya Rashi, right? Or Leo Rashi, I don't know. At that time, he got the captaincy of India, for T20 World Cup. It would have given him tremendous pressure. But since he was working so hard before that for 5 years, 10 years, I don't know, he deserved that. So don't worry about it. If you have been focused and working hard, it will be a good time. If not, then in whatever aspect of life you are lacking, only that aspect will get affected. So if you are cheating on your wife, you will have a divorce. It doesn't mean that you will have a bad job. No. Right? And then people ask me that, okay, how much bad will it do to me? I mean, you would know. How much bad have you done to others, right? Just think about that. So if you have been cheating on your employees and subordinates, then it's a bad time for your job, man. If you're into business and if you have been stocking payments of other people, other companies, and not giving them payments on the due date, then your money is bound to get affected. The inflow is bound to get affected. Your money will get affected. You might not get it on time. You might not get it ever, right? If you have given emotional unhappiness to anybody, you will get affected. So it's as simple as that. It is not a very difficult thing to decode, according to me, if you look at it from this perspective, right? And it is not dependent on the natal chart. I mean, I have many more examples. Even you must be having many more. You cannot say it from the lagna. You can't say it.
Yeah.
So that's it. That is the thing.
Right. You know,
Anything
as a
which I'm
closure,
missing out?
no, good, good. As a closure to this video, I just remembered Amir Khan.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what something I know about him many decades back. I do not know if he has changed his habit.
Mm-hmm.
I was recently watching his movie, post product about his weight training for that movie Dangal.
Yeah.
Now, what he did was
Mm-hmm.
he has one bodybuilding role in that when he's a young man,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Mm-hmm.
when he becomes the father, he's
He
and
has
the
a punch. Yeah.
there's a paunch.
Mm-hmm.
He said to the director
Mm-hmm.
that I will first do all the scenes where I'm the fat guy,
Mm-hmm.
and then I will train myself, become lean and muscular.
Mm-hmm.
What reminds me about his dedication is, I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if he has changed himself, is he never carries a phone on the sets. I do not know now.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Look, I mean, this image of actors being spoiled people is actually a fake image, to be very honest with you. I mean, here in Bombay, I know many. They are very, very devoted, dedicated individuals here. I mean, they will party. Everybody parties, right? But apart from that, their whole timetable, the schedule of the day is so fixed. I mean, everybody. I was watching one interview of Arbaz Khan and Salman Khan around a couple of years ago when Dabang was being released. I don't know. So at that time, Arbaz said ki, yaar 10 baje raat ko the film ends, then I sleep and I have to come back again at 8 in the morning. So Salman said that your job starts at 8, boss. I get up at 5. I have to hit the gym for 2 hours, only then I can shoot. So I sleep at 10, I get up at 5. You know. So these people are really working hard. That's why I said Saturn's aspect on the Lagna is very important. It's very important. Acha, one more thing. As I said, I will be giving you one pointer on Sadasatis and Dhayyas. So look, as I said, people who are committed, dedicated will have a good Sadasati and Dhayya, right? Now, the job at hand, if I look at this concept for us, for all us astrologers and students of astrology, is to find out that what combinations will make you a dedicated man, a focused man, right? If that person has that combination in the chart, then you can say for sure that you will have a good Dhayya or a good Sadasati. It's a difficult thing to find. It's a very tricky thing, right? But I have found out one thing, and it is again contrary to the classical approach. Saturn's aspect on the moon is a good thing. It will make you disciplined. Your mind would not digress from the job at hand. And in all these charts who have had a good Sadasati or a Dhayya, you can see that most of them will have Saturn's aspect on the moon, or else Saturn's aspect on Venus, because Venus is the luring factor, right? It lures you to different things. So if Venus has been set straight by Saturn's stick, right, then it becomes a good thing. So I've seen that, noticed that in a lot of charts. Let's have a recap and see how many of them have that.
Shall we start from set 1?
Yeah, as you wish.
Set 1, chart number 1.
Chart number 1.
Saturn
So
aspect
he
Mars.
had a moon. He had a good Sadasati, right? The first one. Let's move on to the second one.
One second.
They say wish yoga is a bad thing. No, no, no.
Okay.
He had a bad Sadasati,
Hmm.
right? Mercury with Venus, again a spoiling factor, right? He was a rowdy guy. And nothing on moon. Okay?
Not on Venus. Saturn
Or
doesn't
on Venus.
aspect Venus.
Doesn't even touch them.
Hmm.
Bad Sadasati again. Nothing on moon or Venus. In fact, moon and Venus together, which again makes you, easily digressible.
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Set 2.
Again.
Nothing on moon on Venus.
Yeah.
Bad Sadasati. Horrible Sadasati.
Hmm. Saturn is
Not-
aspecting Moon.
Moon. Yeah, I missed that. I thought nothing is on moon. Saturn is aspecting moon again. See? Very good Sadasati.
Hmm.
Huh? The last one.
Saturn is aspecting Moon.
Yeah, he had an average one. The insurance agent guy, as I said, right? It was an average Sadasati, not a bad one. Nothing extreme. I mean, it was just average.
Let's go to set 3. Chart
Yeah.
3. Saturn is not aspecting Moon and Venus.
Yeah, and moon and Venus are together again.
Yeah.
He broke both his arms,
Yes.
right? Saturn aspects moon and with Venus, the best one of the lot, right?
He made his business
He was working for something for the past 6-7 years. He got that.
project.
Yeah, really hard working guy.
Hmm.
And the last one,
Saturn
aspecting
does not
Venus.
aspect Moon, but aspects Venus.
Aspects Venus. Yeah, as I said, he had an average one.
Average one.
Yeah, he was in Nepal, but that project had to end. I mean, the rehabilitation of people after the earthquake had to last for more. Not it cannot last forever, right?
Yeah.
So that had to end. So he had to come back to India. Then he, got a new job in Bombay as well. But there was a waiting period of 4 or 5 months in between.
Hmm.
So that's okay. I mean, that is the nature of the job he is into. He will have to go through this always.
Correct.
So see, whenever Saturn is setting straight planets like Venus and Moon,
Moon.
that person is a dedicated individual. I mean, this could be a find. I don't know, but we should
I
be.
think it's a marvelous find. And I think what you're trying to say, it gives you the opportunity to be dedicated and hardworking during.
Yeah, that is in your nature then. That is your nature in that case, right? From birth.
Hmm.
So if you are like that, if you are always working hard, then Sadhasatis in years will be good for you, right? If you are emotionally very sensitive of other people, you're not harming anybody, right? And you're working hard on your own goals, then you will get those things in Sadhasatis in year. As I said, Sadhasati is going to give you the result of the karmas, right? So good karmas and focused individuals will be because of Saturn's aspect on Moon or on Venus. Because another thing, people who have had a bad Sadhasati, they were running Venus Mahadashas. In the same sets, you can check that. I mean, I know that for a fact, so I'm just stating that. They were running Venus Mahadashas. You want to check, you can check that. Because Venus Mahadashas, people get attracted to all the fancy things, right? They were not able to focus.
Can you repeat the rule again? People.
Venus Mahadashas, one person, most of them were under Venus Mahadashas, and who had a very, very bad Sadhasati. Look, this person was under Moon and Mars. Okay, he had a good one. Right? Sadhasati on Leo was in 2005, 2011, 12, right? So it was under Moon and Mars. The second person, you will just find one exception to this thing. He was under Venus. See, because in Venus you get attracted to the good things. Now hawa lag jati hai, as they say, especially in the young age. So he wasn't focused on anything. He was just trying to party and do ash. So Saturn and on top of that, Saturn is not aspecting Moon or Venus. Right? Both the things are true in this case. So he had a very, very bad Sadhasati. The third person,
Hmm.
he was again under. No, he wasn't under Venus. He was under Sun and Moon.
Hmm.
He had a bad one again.
Hmm.
He had a bad one again. But he had just finished Venus when Saraswati started.
Okay.
But that doesn't count. That doesn't count. He is under Venus,
Venus.
right? Venus not affected or aspected by Saturn. He's had the worst one.
Hmm.
Lost the job, lost the relationship, lost everything.
Hmm.
Now this person is the exception. He is having a Venus Mahadasha, but still he is having a very good Saraswati.
Hmm.
Probably because Saturn is aspecting Moon, so Venus is not able to lure him to do all sorts of things, right? He is focused because his Moon is intact,
Hmm.
right? If the Moon is not affected by Saturn and Venus Dasha is running, then that person will get attracted to all the nonsense things,
Hmm.
and the focus on the job at hand will dilute automatically, right? Chart 3, he's having an average thing, right? So it's okay. He's under Mercury. Mercury sits with Venus, so there are certain effects of Venus here. So it's just an average thing. He's not having a bad one, neither a good one. But Saturn aspects Moon here, right?
Hmm.
Yeah, Saturn aspects Moon, so he's still intact. As I said, he drinks, but he doesn't drink. He doesn't overdo anything.
Oh, God, yeah.
I've spoken about that when we saw the chart.
Set 3, chart 1.
He's under Rahu. Now Rahu is again, on the lines of Venus only. So he has broken both his arms.
Hmm.
Which nakshatra is Rahu in here?
Jupiter's nakshatra.
Jupiter's nakshatra. Okay, fine. Okay, let's not compute that because Jupiter is with Venus, but that would be looking like a post-mortem, so no point.
So, but although that's,
I mean,
that's the normal way
that's a
of-
big thing. Yeah, but still. Now he's under Jupiter's this thing, Mahadasha. But here just look at this chart. Saturn is with Venus and aspects Moon. It's a huge impact of Saturn in this person's life, right? And aspects the Lagna as well. So he is a focused guy. I mean, he is bound to be a focused guy. And the last person, he is having an average time. Again, Rahu Mahadasha. Jupiter Mahadasha. Jupiter in the sign of Venus. But he hasn't had a bad time. He is that disaster management guy. It's an average sort of a period. Because here Saturn is aspecting Venus again. Right? I mean, what I'm trying to say with these two inferences which I have drawn, people can have more inferences, that when we have to find out that which person will remain focused on the job and dedicated. If we can find that out, then we can say that yes, you will have a good Saraswati. Right? That is my basic rule. Now I have thought of two possibilities. One possibility is that the only luring factor in the chart is Moon and Venus. These are the two planets which can, digress you from your path. So if these two planets are set straight by the aspect or conjunction of Saturn, then that person will remain focused and remain on his path, whatever he chooses, right? If they are not, if they are with Mercury, if they are with Rahu, then he will get easily affected by the good things in life, and hence will not be able to focus on the job at hand and on his relationships and health and whatever. Basically, what really happens that your health that gets affected. Now the reason behind that is if you are abusing your health, you'll abuse your health. By that it means that you are drinking and smoking and getting addictions. That can happen in Venus Mahadasha, or if Venus is affecting your Moon, or Rahu is affecting your Moon, or Rahu Mahadasha is there, right? So in those cases, in Saraswati, you will suffer, your health will suffer, right? If you are not punctual at job, or you're not really willing to work, just want easy money, then that can also happen when Moon is not very, very strong, or Moon is under the influence of Mercury or of Venus, right? So whenever Moon is affected by Saturn, so that person remains dedicated and focused, and his क्या बोलते हैं उसको जो उसकी इच्छाएं होती है ना, वो limited रहती है, मतलब he's focused on what he wants in life, right? He works hard because his mind doesn't digress. So Venus Dasha is a Dasha which can make anybody's mind digress, because he will give you, Venus, as I said in the previous videos, the Dashas give you environments in life, right? So Venus Dasha will give you an environment which is an environment of, partying and drinking and good women and good wine, right? So then you are bound to digress from your relationships, from your work. And hence, if a Sadasati coincides with Venus Mahadasha, it could be a really bad Sadasati, right? Or with the Rahu Mahadasha, because Rahu can make you go into gambling and stuff. So if you are gambling, you're abusing your wealth in that case, right? And then when the Sadasati coincides, then Saturn will abuse your wealth, in a way that you cannot even think of. So, but even if you're running a Venus Mahadasha, but if your Venus is affected by Saturn in the natal chart, and your moon is affected, then your mind will be controlled. You will be able to resist the temptation. Yeah, temptation is the word, because Venus will give you those temptations. But if your moon and Venus are affected by Saturn, then you will be able to resist those temptations, and hence you will be on the right path. And if you are on the right path, then when the Sadasati strikes, it will give you good results and not bad results. So I have only been able to think of these two factors, the effect of Saturn on moon and on Venus, and not if there is a Venus Mahadasha, then Venus should be affected by Saturn and moon, right? But there could be multiple factors, and I want the listeners to think of them. Maybe a Jupiter can also make you focused, maybe under certain special circumstances.
And readers,
Otherwise, Jupiter also gives you a lot of arrogance at times.
yeah.
So that arrogance will be broken down by Sadasati, because as we have discussed, कि वो अहंकार तोड़ता है, है ना?
Yeah.
So it will break that down. But Saturn will keep you grounded always. So Saturn on moon is a very good combination in that case. But classically, people will say it's a wish yoga. But because back in the day, there were not those many temptations available. So a wish yoga was considered bad. But today, if wish yoga keeps you grounded and keeps you focused to whatever you want to do, even if that's a crime, right? I don't know. But if it makes you focused on your dream, then it's a good yoga to have. This is what I think.
Correct. I think you have given, especially the part of Saturn aspecting Moon and Venus being just.
Yeah.
That's an eye opener, at least. And what I would suggest to the viewers is, we are, or at least the way I look at it, we are not giving definite rules that this is the rule. We are presenting observation.
It is a possibility. Yeah, it is a possibility. As I said, I'm still contemplating on this.
Correct.
I'm still contemplating. I'm not saying it's a sure shot thing.
Yeah.
But I've seen it working, and I have a logic to it. My logic is that if Saturn aspects Moon and Venus, then you will be grounded and you will be focused and you will be able to resist the temptations of life.
Correct.
And hence, if you are on the right path of karma, the Sadasati is bound to be a good Sadasati.
Correct.
Sadasati is bad when you are digressing from the job, right? As simple as that. So I have this logic, and nobody has written about it ever in any book, anywhere. So we can, write a paper out of it as well if you want to, because this can be, documented.
Yeah, I would request, in conclusion to this video, what I would request is for people to, because we have viewers from various parts of the country, I want people to observe this on 10, 20, 30 charts, put it on a Word file, then send it to us, upload it on mediafire.com, send the link in the comment section. Don't just test it on one or two horoscope and give your opinion. It really hard when I see educated people. When we want to take a medicine, we call it science, and we say, oh, obviously we believe that the pharmaceutical company would have tested it on so many trials, But when we give our opinion in the comment section, we just say one horoscope. If it doesn't work on my horoscope, the technique is bad. It's like that. That's the first reaction. And for me, that's such an orthodox and uneducated reaction, So I would like viewers to test it on a couple of horoscopes and don't form an opinion before you test it on 10 horoscopes. Post your comments. Post the remedies that you have seen working for Sadasati. traditionally India has been a country of upayas. You know, upayas have been
Mm,
mentioned in Brihad
true,
Parashara Shastra also. You know,
true,
Vishnu Sahasranam has been mentioned many a times in Brihad Parashara Shastra. So
true.
many local traditional astrologers have simple remedies that
Mm.
even a non-Hindu can perform. And the
Yeah, absolutely.
best remedy that the unknown astrologer has given is to be dedicated to one's work
Hmm.
or one's area of life where Saturn is situated or
No,
is
no, the job at hand, whatever job is at hand, whatever you are supposed to do. If you are supposed to study, then study. Then don't watch astrology on YouTube, right?
correct.
To be very honest with you, if
Honestly,
you're
honestly,
watching my video and not studying and you fail, then I can't help it, right? Don't watch my video. Study. Give that time to that
correct.
because this is not going to give you marks in the exams,
Exactly,
right?
exactly. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
unknown
You want
astrologer.
to talk about the course?
Yes. I forgot. I forgot. I'm so bad at marketing. Actually, we have okay for the viewers. Viewers. I'll just say quickly. We have our course in profession, determining profession. Okay, it's
Hmm.
a 10 lecture course. You can go to our site saptarishishop.com, and then in the courses section, you can click here, and you will come to this. It's the price is somewhere around 12,000 plus GST. It's on Saturday and Sunday, 10 o'clock in the morning IST, you know. And even if you're not able to attend the lectures, it will be the recordings will be given to you. Even if you attend the lectures, recordings are given so that you can revisit the lecture in the coming days. Every week you need to revisit and hear the lecture again and again. And I want this to be a very hard working course. It's not a babysitting course. I want people to join who are ready to work hard in mastering how to determine profession. So
Yeah.
I think I've
So,
said it
so
all.
this
Starting on
course
July
will be
7th. Sorry.
July 7th we start, and I've got many calls and many people have asked me in the past, in the last 6 months since we did the first video, that do you teach? Do you teach? So I said that I wasn't teaching. I just said two students. So, but this is the first possible, you know, course which I have designed, with the help of Sunil sir and Saptarishis. So you guys can join it. It will not be about any kind of bookish knowledge. It will be about my experience and my techniques. A trailer of that you have seen already in the videos which we have done in the past.
Yeah.
And I only expect the students to be familiar with the basics of astrology. By basics, I mean that they should know that which sign is owned by which planet, and which planet gets exalted in that sign and niche in that sign. That's it. That's all I want. What I want you to know, and the owners of the signs, right? If the chart is, you should be able to, see a horoscope and realize ki, okay, this is Mesh. One is Mesh, two is Taurus, three is Gemini, and Mars rules Aries. Sun is exalted in Aries, right? Simple, basic, simple thing which you have to mug up. Nobody can, teach you. There is no concept in that as such. You have to just mug it up. That number one is Aries. We can write Aries in the chart. It's the same thing, but we cannot write because it's a big names. We just write one. So just run, and which houses own what. Basic, simple. You can just get familiar with that with any of the videos on this channel. There are many on the basics of astrology, or else you can just buy a simple, basics of astrology book and read that one book, and then you can attend the course.
Right.
It will be a 10. I have designed it as a 9 lecture course. The 10th lecture we will be using for questions and answers and some example charts. So it will be about careers and professions, and yeah. So, and maybe look, the material of the course is what I can think of at the time of writing, but at the time of speaking I will be coming up with more things. So I want you to attend the course and not just wait for the recordings,
Yeah.
because there will be multiple things which will come to my mind. I'll say that. So yeah, that's it.
Sounds great. Sounds great. Well,
Yeah.
friends, thank you. And on behalf of everyone at Saptarishi's Astrology, we thank you, unknown astrologer G, for sharing your knowledge
Thank
wholeheartedly.
you so much. Thank you
Wholeheartedly.
so much. And I want everybody to test this Saturn aspect on Moon and Venus thing for Sadhasatis.
Correct. Correct.
Yeah,
We wait
I've
for you.
given a lot of thought to it, a lot of years to it, and this is the only thing which I can think of, to be very honest with you. But if something else can be added to this, it will be great.
That's nice.
So this is a research forum, so I want everybody to research on that.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much.
Have a nice day.